Hey guys, welcome to my channel iCode. I am Pallav and today I am going to take a mock interview for system design round. I have been receiving messages for doing this for a long time and I understand that there are literally no resources available for mobile developers to prepare for system design rounds. There are hundreds of videos available for the backend developers, but for mobile developers, literally nothing. So if you are appearing in the companies like Facebook, Amazon, Google, or any of the farm companies for that matter, then you can definitely expect the questions on distributed system design, API contracts, load balancers, shards, and all those questions which are generally asked in the system design rounds of a backend developer. In this video, we are not going to cover all those, but for rest of the companies who focus on the system design of a mobile application, this video is going to be helpful. I have Tanya with me today. She is senior software developer at Pepperfry and has an experience of more than 5 years in iOS app development. She will be helping me in this mock interview. Hi Tanya, welcome to iCode.
Hi Pallav, thanks for having me here.
So before we proceed with the interview, can you give us an idea about what system design round is and what is expected from the candidate?
Sure, Pallav. System design round is meant to evaluate the candidate's approach to the problem, the decisions they take, the trade-offs they consider, how well do they understand the problem and their thought process. It's just about the good communication and collaboration skills. Moreover, there are no right or wrong answers, it's just about the different alternatives, and your interviewer knows this. So please don't focus on finding the perfect solution, focus on the bits you know.
That will be really helpful, Tanya. So let's start with the interview.
Sure. So tell me, how will you design the system for handling the downloads? Suppose we are working on an application of library having thousands of books and we need to add the download feature. How will you design the entire system?
Now that the interviewer has asked the question, the first thing that we need to do is understand the problem. We need to gather the requirements. Think of as many questions as you can and ask the questions to gather the information. Understand the system that we are supposed to design. Who will be the users? What are we designing? Are there any API contracts available? Any wireframes available? Are there any limitations? And everything else. Try to gather as much information as possible because this is the most important phase of your interview. Because of this, you will define a boundary, you will define the scope, and that will decide the direction of your interview. So you can pause the video for a while and can think of the questions related to this problem statement. So before starting with the solution, I have some questions.
Yeah, please.
What type of content are we downloading? I mean, you said that the application is for library, but library can have videos, video lectures, images, or normal text. So exactly what are we downloading?
No, there won't be any videos or images. There will be only books to download. But how does it matter?
Actually, it will help me in deciding the API that I'll be using for implementing the download. So Apple has provided URL session download task through which we can download any kind of file. If it is specifically for videos, then there's AV asset download task or AV aggregated download task for that matter. So it will help me in deciding that what API provided by the Apple I will be using for implementing the download.
Fair enough.
The second thing is that what will be the size of the file on an average?
It can vary from 20 KB to 200 MB.
Okay. And what is the threshold? I mean, what is the maximum limit that we are setting for the application in terms of size?
You can take that as an input from the user.
Are we supporting parallel or simultaneous downloads?
No, let's keep it serial as of now, but you should have the provision to change it to parallel.
Okay. Are we supporting the background downloads?
Yes.
Okay. And what all features are we supporting, like pause, resume?
Yeah, we are supporting pause, resume, delete.
Okay, delete as well.
Yeah.
And are we supporting the resuming of the download after the app has been killed? I mean, if user kills the app while the download was in progress and then relaunch it, are we supporting the resuming of the download?
Yes, it's good to have that feature and it will be wonderful if we can have it.
Okay. And who will be our user?
You mean who will be using the system, right?
Right. So basically I want to understand that whether this system, this entire download module will be the part of the application or it will be a separate framework or SDK sort of.
Keep it as generic as possible and if it can be a framework, it will be really good.
Okay. And what will be the metadata that we will be showing?
Metadata as in?
As in the title of the book, the author, volume,
Okay.
those sort of things.
Okay, so whatever you will be receiving from the web service, you will be showing.
Okay. And will this metadata change frequently?
No, not frequently, but why?
Actually, it will help me in deciding that what kind of database should I choose. So if it will change frequently, then I should go for a NoSQL database.
Okay.
But if there are chances that it won't change, then probably I can go for NoSQL.
No, that won't change frequently.
Okay. The content that will be downloaded, will it be encrypted or not?
No, but why?
Because if it will be encrypted, then I'll have to think for some classes which will take care of the decryption and those kind of stuff.
Okay. No, it won't be encrypted.
So these were few questions which were necessary to understand the problem. Now that we have a requirement clear, we can proceed to the next step. And the next step is defining the scope. For defining the scope, we basically discuss the functional requirements with the interviewer and try to make an agreement. Once the interviewer agrees to the features that we have thought, then we can slowly proceed to the solution. Basically, we have defined the scope, or we can say that we have drawn the boundary for our system. Let's go for it. So I'm clear with the requirements that we just discussed, and before proceeding with the solution, I would just like to reiterate them once.
Sure.
So basically, we will be building a framework that will handle the download part. We will be downloading the text files. There would be no media. I mean, there would be no videos or images. There will be serial downloads, and the features that we'll be supporting will be pause, resume, and delete, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is what we are looking for.
So we have finalized the requirements, reconfirmed them with the interviewer, and now we can proceed to the solution. And in terms of solution, the first thing that we need to do is identify the technical requirements. This part basically covers all the technical aspects of your solution. So if networking is involved, how are you going to handle the networking part? If security is involved, how are you going to store the sensitive information? How are you going to deal with authentication, secure communication? If the application is supposed to work in offline mode, how are you going to deal with that? What kind of databases will you use? How about the scaling factor of the application? How can you modularize the components? If it is about UI, how can you break it into the smaller components and everything else? So this is the point where you will identify the technical requirements and will discuss it with the interviewer once. There can be a point where they can suggest you something or they can omit something from your suggestions. So looking at the requirements, what I have thought is that I'll be using URL session download task for the downloading. And because user can select multiple items to download, so I'll maintain a queue. That will be basically a serial queue because initially we are trying to implement it for the serial downloads.
Right.
If we want to change it to the parallel downloads, then instead of this queue, there will be a dictionary. So with that dictionary, I can track the active downloads sort of thing. So that's my idea, that's my approach.
Okay.
And apart from these, I'll need a database for storing some important information about the downloads.
So what kind of information you want to store in DB?
So when download will be in progress, there will be certain properties related to it. It will have a content ID. I'm assuming a unique ID for identifying each download. Then there will be a URL associated to that particular download. Also, because we are trying to support the resume of the download, there will be a value for progress. There will be a location, basically a file path wherein the downloaded content will be stored. So all these things will be stored in the database so that the resuming of the download can be done flawlessly.
Okay. Then let's start with the design.
Sure. So we are done with the identification of the technical requirements, and now is the time to get our hands dirty. Basically, we will be proposing a high-level design. Now, in terms of high-level design, what we will be doing is that we will be breaking our entire system into small components, and we will be establishing the links between them. We will be explaining that how each component will be interacting with the other component. While we will be designing this system, interviewer might intervene and they can suggest some ideas or they can ask you to change something, and you should definitely pick up the hints. And if you're not agreeing with their suggestions, then you should try to convince them with your approach that whatever you are doing, why you are doing that. Most of the times, incorporating their ideas into the design will help you. And in an actual interview, you will be doing all this on a whiteboard or maybe a shared coding environment. But here for this mock interview, I'll use the Keynote. So I have come up with this design. The client app is separate from our framework, and the interaction will happen through the singleton class, that is download manager.
Okay. So what will be the responsibility of download manager?
So download manager will have all the functions. Basically, all the publicly exposed function will be in this class, that is download manager. It will have the functions like start download, cancel, pause, resume, and all those features that we are providing. Those will be accessed through this class, download manager. This will not have the implementation of those functions. Instead, it will call another service, that is download service, and this will have the core implementation of those features. So basically the URL session download task and all those heavy lifting will be done by download service, and download service will be having the reference of reachability. So this is for handling the network failure scenarios. So in case while a download is in progress and the network goes, or if the user goes offline. So in that particular scenario, if you want to pause the download, that will be possible through this.
Okay. So how are you going to manage the database and storage?
Right. So for that, I will be having another service that will be storage service,
Okay.
and download service will be having the reference of that storage service, and that storage service will interact with my database. So all the operations like basically all the crude operations like create, retrieve, update, and delete, all those things, they will be taken care by this storage service.
Okay. Then where will you perform the disk operations?
Disk operations as in,
Like saving on the disk, deleting from the disk.
okay, right. So you mean that once the download is completed, saving of that
Yeah.
download on the disk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is all being done in the storage service itself.
Okay. So storage service will have disk operations also and DB operations also.
Right.
So don't you think that it is violating the solid principle?
Solid principle. Okay.
What do you think? Like which kind of principle it's violating?
Okay. So in terms of solid, the first thing that comes is the single responsibility principle. And yes, you are right. So in this case, because this particular class, that is storage service, it is doing the disk operations and the database operations
Yes.
both. Right. So here the S principle of solid is being violated.
Yes. So how are you going to address this?
Right. So because storing on the disk and performing the database operation, both of these are somewhere related. They are related to the storing of the content on the disk or in the database. So what I can do is that I can have another class that is database helper.
Yes.
Storage service will have the reference of that database helper, and that database helper will interact with the database. So the only responsibility of the database helper would be performing of the database operations, while the disk operations can be performed on the storage service.
So how will client app come to know about the download states?
Right. So the callbacks for the states, like whether the download is in queue or it is being downloaded or download has been cancelled or finished, those kind of callbacks will be given through the listeners.
Okay.
So the idea is that whenever the client app will add any item into the download queue, they will add certain listeners. Basically, they will register some listener which will be receiving the callback. And the callback will start from the download service because the core implementation of the URL session download task is in the download service.
Okay.
So we can take it as that download service is giving the callback to the download manager, and then it is giving the callback to the client app.
Okay. So how will you listen to the callbacks on some other view when download has been started from different view?
Right. So here the problem is that because the listeners are being registered when the download is being added to the queue.
Yeah.
So to address this, we can have a method something like register listener in the download manager, and any view who want to listen to the progress or any kind of callback after the download has been started can register themselves as listeners using that particular method.
Okay. So what kind of listeners will you have?
What kind of listeners, as in, because I'll be storing the listeners as any object. So any kind of listener, it can be a view or it can be a view controller, any kind of listener can register themselves.
No, that is fine. But will they be weak or strong?
Yeah, considering the memory management, definitely they will be weak. So if a view is registered as a listener and when it is not alive in the memory, it should be removed from the listeners. Yeah, so definitely the listeners will be weak.
Okay. Let's look at the storage service implementation.
Mhm.
What all methods will you have there?
So when interviewer starts deep diving into any of your components, or if they ask you to implement any particular component, you can treat it as low level design. Because in the high level design, you just mentioned the components, you sketched out the communication between them. But in the low level design, you are basically asked to tell the signature of the methods, that what all methods will be there, what will be their responsibility, and you can be even asked to implement one of the components from your design. Though it will be a smaller one generally, considering the time limits, but you should be ready to code and build any of the components that has been asked by the interviewer. Right. So one of the methods in storage service will be for performing the database operations. That method will internally call the methods of database helper, but yes, it will reside in storage service. So that will be one of the methods. The other will be for handling the deletion on the disk. So when the user want to delete a downloaded file from the disk, this method will take care of it.
Okay.
And similarly, some other helper methods like checking the available space on the disk, checking for the directory path, and
Yeah.
those kind of things. So all those methods will reside in the storage service.
How can you get the available space on disk?
Yeah, that can be done using file manager. File manager has certain attributes for this, and we can use one of them.
Can you tell any one of them?
I'm not able to recall the exact attribute, but I guess system free size is the one probably responsible for this.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, Pallav, I got the gist of the design and it's good for now. We can wrap it up here.
Sure, Tanya. I understand that this has not covered everything and there's a lot more to be discussed, but the idea was to discuss the approach for dealing with the system design rounds. So I guess you got the idea and it will be helpful in your next system design round. So that's pretty much for this video. If you like it, do let us know through the comments. A new video comes out every Sunday, so you can consider subscribing to the channel.
Let's write better code together. Happy coding and stay safe.